upcoming features of this game. Avengers Pulse is this game that you're seeing next. Women's final, and later on, the big one, Heathens up against the Pirates for the men's cup final.
All right, the women's final definitely out. The Avengers all the way from Mantewe up against the Kings Park side, the Black Pearls, and it's been quite a tough one for the side, the Avengers, and definitely for the Black Pearls when they've come up against the Lady Possibles, and not forgetting the Lady Probables as well. But the youngsters there that did get to come on are from the Kyadondo age grade program that happens every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. And that includes Kennedy Sabila, Benjamin Cheru, Jeremiah Otieno, there is Kenneth Enago, and Ivan Mfumbi. So those are the 5 youngsters that pretty much did get to make their way out there. All right, there you go. That will be the game that pretty much decides it for the women, and there'll be inspection of the teams before we do get into the decide. Obviously, both sides had it tough when they came up against the select women's teams, and they were quite tested in there as far as the women's games did get to go. But quickly, as that gets to happen, as the inspections do get to come through, do remember as you warm up for the men's final between the Stanbic Black Pirates and the Platinum Credit Heathens that will be coming up shortly. Stanbic Bank reminds you that one good turn deserves another. That's why they are giving you a nyongeza now. Whether it's building your home, if you are planning to pay your rent or paying your school fees, don't let financial worries hold you back. Umulaka stress with a salary loan from Stanbic Bank and get to enjoy a flexible loan tenor of up to 84 months. Also, they can process digital loans in 2 minutes, and interest rates are as low as 17% per annum. And there's also a repayment holiday of up to 75 days. Now, for more information, call 0800 150 150. Stanbic Bank is regulated by the Bank of Uganda, and customer deposits are protected by the Deposit Protection Fund of Uganda. Terms and conditions apply. Stanbic Bank, it definitely can be. All right, almost underway for the women's final. It is the Avengers as they do take on the Black Pearls, and kickoff will be just shortly to decide which team will be the winners of the Kyadondo circuit of the women's games. All right, also do remember as you swipe throughout the weekend, better steady, be better, and you need to protect your pin. It's very important. There's so many fraudsters out there, so you need to make sure that you safeguard your pin at all times and keep it as private as possible, because your digital money is actually your real money, so you need to protect it and be careful with all the con men that are actually there. And there you go, we're almost underway. It's the Black Pearls that will definitely get us for the kickoff of the women's final.
Avengers in there with the ball. That is Shirabo there with the ball. Oh. What a tackle from the young lad there. And penalized the Pearls here. And what a tackle from Kabajungu there at shot 15. That young girl there at shot 15. Agnes Kabajungu there. Oh, what a break from Avengers. Oh, what a play. That is Akelo on the outer wing, stepping on, and yes, finding out. Oh, falling short over that. Well collected by the Avengers. Peace Mirembe calls off that. And yes, they are penalized, and towards Emanuela Oroma there for the Pearls. A little bit of the handling errors. That is Chirabo there for the Pals, passing that ball to find that is Rita there. Oh, what is that? Peace Mirembe having what a referee called a high tackle, but the Avengers will start it and try time.
Quickly out of the blocks, the Avengers, they are getting to draw first blood as they get the first try of the game. Also, the first points, and brilliant there from them. Again, wasting absolutely no time. Not the best of conversions there. Skews that wide, but they are the team that pretty much do have the first try. And it's now game on. The Black Pals will need to come back and pretty much get themselves back into the contest. Still early moments. I will have to wait and see how it gets to play out.
Chirabo Sara there failing to convert it for the Avengers at shot 4. As that is very unfortunate. Bushira Namutebi there. The Pals are fly half there, knocking on that ball. And Helen Boyuteme Koyokoyo not happy with that display from Bushira Namutebi. A little bit of a word of counsel from her. Helen, the veteran, former Lady Cranes captain, player and coach there, doubling and as a coach and player there for the Black Pals, who had the word with Beatrice, brother Bushira Namutebi there, due to that infringement or that mistake there. Helen Buteme kicking that ball to collect it on for the Pals.
Again, for the Black Pals, they've had to make do all throughout the weekend without some of their key players, including Charlotte, who is out injured, and definitely Emily Lekura as well, who has been such a big miss for them. And here they do trail against the Avengers, so it will be a huge test of character to see how they are able to bounce back and get themselves back into the game. And consultations there between the referee and the touchline judge. That is center referee Maxwell Bonga, one of those players that has put in quite the shift, most recently with the Ginger Hippos, and certainly shares the word with the players before play can be able to continue. And 5 for the Avengers, 0 for the Black Pals, as action in the women's final pretty much does get to continue. And it will be a penalty to the side the Avengers that do get to keep.
Stamping is the call that they just made, and Peace Mirembe there was dissatisfied as Faith Namuga made it. Oh, that ball went awfully away as a little bit of a handling errors. And yes, they lose possession. Helen Buteme restarting it for the Pals and setting rhythm, looking for Emanuela Oroma there on the outer right wing there, handing off Akelo and dragging her by the collar, and referee gives an advantage to the Pals. Helen passes it to Peace Mirembe. Peace Mirembe passing it to her center, finding Jane Kabajungu, the youngest player in this tournament. But of course, next on that ball, and referee gives them an upper hand of an infringement, giving them a full penalty due to a high tackle that was made on Emanuela Oroma on the right outer wing there.
The Black Pals trying to gain some momentum now, trying to yield something from the possession that they do have. Again, trying to make sure that they peg the Avengers back into their own half. That is going to be quite tough because the Avengers have proven that they have a lot to offer. And it's a quick start here from the Black Pals as they try to make some inroads, hoping to get that try and get themselves back into the game. Certainly a 5-point game as it gets to stand, and they choose to go all the way. Can they get to the try line? Huge territory. They do get to gain there, and Helen Buteme there getting into a bit of force, and there is a knock-on. There will be a scrum down there to the side the Avengers. As play does get to continue, certainly a sigh of relief coming through for the side the Avengers there after having to see off that was an on-charging Black Pearls team that pretty much do want to get that try and get themselves back into the game.
A little bit of medical consultation there as Chirabo Sara of the Avengers seems not medically fine to return to action there. And yes, what a way of these ladies tussling it out in this final. And still the Avengers still taking a lead in this.
All right, do remember, better stay there, be better. As you swipe into the weekend, protect your pin. Also, we are coming to you live on Afro Mobile. You can download the Afro Mobile app on Google Play Store and Apple Store, and you'll definitely be able to keep tabs on all the action as it gets to happen. Also, Standing Bank reminds you they have some incredible loans for you at the best interest rates, up to 17%. And you can definitely get to be a part of that. Standing Bank, it can be. All right, it is a scrum down here as the Avengers try to make sure that they clear their lines, get onto the front foot, quickly pick it out from a scrum there, and they recycle the ball out left, hoping to cover some yards, and runs into traffic there.
A sin bin to Jenny Kabajungu there, the youngest player in this tournament. What an awful moment for her. Very unfortunate times for her, but of course that young lad is only coming in to learn the game. With exceptionals of what is happening around, she can be excused, but of course the referee says you can have a yellow card to cool you off and cool down the tempers. Jen Kabajungu, that young lad there, or lady or gem that just got introduced to the game 3 months ago, and she's really improving. Great here indeed.
All right, play gets to continue, and it's a scrum down here to the Avengers as they try to get themselves to stretch their lead. And that brings us to halftime. The Avengers lead 5, the Black Pearls 0. Clearly, it's been a game where the Black Pearls have tried to get back after going behind, and having considered that try quite early in the first half. And certainly for the Pearls, actually the Pearls trying to get themselves back after going behind the Avengers in this particular contest as it gets come through. So second half coming up, any of the two teams can still be able to pick up the win because it's still a close contest. It's only a 5-point game. One try gets to separate the two teams that are getting to contest the women's final here. And coming up will be the men's final between the Stanbic Black Pirates as they do get to take on the Platinum Credit Heathens. That will be on shortly. And for the fans, clearly, as they get wind down their evening, what has been an incredible 2 days of rugby action, back-to-back games that have actually been played from as early as 8 a.m. yesterday up until about nearly 6 p.m. from yesterday. And from today, games kicked off early in the morning and have run back-to-back over the course of the day. So it's been such a fruitful 2 days of rugby action that has been played right here at the Kyadondo grounds. But for now, both teams retreat back into their corners. A word or two from the coaches in terms of their take on the games and what they do expect to happen at the end of the second half. And referee Maxwell Bonga will get us underway just shortly for the second half between the Avengers and the Black Pearls, as the Avengers still lead 5-0 going into the second half.
Juliet Nanda will call her Julie, the only person that has managed to touch down for the Avengers. Kicks us off as Peace Mirembe there receives that ball in for the Pearls and pumping on, gaining territory. She does. Helen Koyokoyo passing that ball to Bushira Namutebi there and looking down for her prop, and they gain possession in return here. A little bit of a contested scrum here, but the Avengers really lose possession in that. Helen Buteme restarting it as she dummies through, finding Emanuela Oroma there, but of course well defended by Juliet there. Juliet Nanda at shot 15, who had taken a sabbatical there, and there seemed to be a little bit of handling errors, but referee said play on as the ball went back and in the favor of the Pearls, being taken away by some few meters back. Peace Mirembe there with a big handoff there, but still contains that ball in her favor. Gilda Aziguru passes that ball to Helen Buteme, finding Emanuela Oroma, who is really defended hard, passing that ball to Helen Buteme, who didn't receive it. And yes, a little bit of footballing skills from the Avengers there. Yes, and what a run from the Avengers, and Helen Buteme gives up on that. What a run, Brian Asimwe, to make it 10 for the Avengers.
Brilliant kick and chase there, again twice going for the kick and pretty much capitalizing there, certainly from the side the Avengers. Helen on the chase, not able to get over the line, and certainly the Avengers deserve it. Second try they do have of the game, further stretches their lead now to 10 points, and clearly on the vest of kicks there, certainly to get it to 12, but 10 for the Avengers, and still 0 for the Black Pearls. Again, dig into quite a deeper hole here. They'll need to work extremely hard. That is the Black Pearls, if they're going to get themselves back into the game. But quality rugby coming through from the women's game, and you absolutely love to see it as it gets to happen here. And on the restart, as there is a knock on there, referee indicates that it will be a scrum down to the Avengers as the game continues into the second half now. 10-0 to the side the Avengers. Can they put the game to bed? Surely one more try will be able to do it for the ladies.
Well, what a day of rugby action here. Fun it has been, and with the weather having wanted to seemingly change, of course, the god or the gods, whatever way it may be, were in favor of the hosts, and no rains at all. A few of the handling errors, and referee says it's a knocked on ball, and gives the ball to the Black Pearls. It will be a scrum in favor of the Pearls here.
Well, the Pearls trying to put something together here. Again, they've not really been able to find their rhythm. They've not asked so many questions of this Avengers side, and they've not been able to get going, basically. It was the case in the first half, and we could put it down to a couple of things, but the Avengers have denied them possession. They've camped within the Black Pearls half for much of the game, and that pretty much goes to explain to you why it's been an Avengers show for much of the game. But hey, something could happen here. But again, it's possession back to the Avengers as they try to make sure that they get stretch their lead and continue their dominance in this game.
Well, it is expected, especially with all the energies that the Avengers are really putting in. Akelo there on the outer left wing, cruising on and well collected in defense. In defense there. Nandaula Juliet collecting it and facing what a run. Big handoffs here. What a run there. And setting up for her team. Faith Namuga there, not able to collect that ball, but they gain advantage due to a high tackle earlier made. Juliet Nandaula there restarting it. Remember, she was the first try scorer there for the Avengers there, and they're not yet successful with a few inches to the try line there. Of course, that seems to be a turnover, and at a whisker of the try line there, big fights in there contesting for life, and yes, the Avengers regain possession in that one. Nandaula Juliet passing it on. Faith Namuga moving into some jam with that lethal one that she finds a bigger wall in a Peace Mirembe. Shot one of the Pearls. Great defense. Penalized for not releasing that ball as Gilda Azikuru there restarts the ball. But of course, the referee will give a yellow card to someone that wasn't at the back foot. And the referee gives that card to that new entrant onto the pitch. That is for the Avengers, and the one player down. The Avengers will have to work twice harder than they had thought of, especially even when they are still leading. But the Pearls can really damage them in return if they don't defend really that hard, Brian.
Well, the clock is ticking. The Pearls really will need to put together a run of sustained possession as quickly as possible to be able to get themselves back into the game, because surely the Avengers now here with the big opportunity as they quickly take that penalty, hoping to find some space out on the right, and tackles flying here, brought to the ground. They secure the rack there and quickly get going on the outside. Can they pick up a third try? Inches away from the try line. Again, their consistency, and again, try time.
Try time. Chirabo Sara touches down for the Avengers to make it 15. And yes, what a play, well coordinated and fully executed to the dot. The Avengers really look like they want it, and they fully show that they need it. And yes, the results are paying, even when they are one person down due to that sin bin that was given to their winger down there.
Brilliant stuff there coming through from the Avengers to pick up their third try of the game, and that surely should be one that gets them closer to being crowned the women's champions here at the Kyadondo Sevens, which means that they'll be heading back to Entebbe all smiles after what has been a fruitful 2 days for them, regardless of the tough challenges they had to face against the Lady Possibles and the Lady Probables as well. But definitely, as we get to wind down the second half of this contest here, it is the Black Pearls trying to make some inroads quite deep inside their own half and trying to get themselves back into this game. Can they get at least one try in to give themselves a fight? Helen there with a beautiful side step, and certainly
Miss Mirembe there collecting it on with one arm at shot one, dancing through and looking for her way, pumping for her life is Miss Mirembe. Very emphatic run and strong run it was, and a big carry in her, carrying it for the Black Pearls, and Helen Buteme collecting it on in the later. And yes, they regain possession, sealing it on a rack, and what a run there. Well defended by, that is Sarah from the Avengers. Penalized for not releasing that ball is Emanuela Oroma, shot 11 for the Pearls. 15 it is for the Avengers, the team in the purple colors, as Julie Nandaula there runs with the ball out, and of course she believes this final play as she will do nothing other than securing it for her team. The Avengers walk away victors and champions for this very circuit, and what a journey it has been for them, fighting from minute one till the last minute, even when they had one man down. What a way, Brian, to cool it off. And the Pals fall to their only circuit, which they had all the way. They thought this would be their fourth. Remember, they didn't win the first one. They won the second one. They won the third. They won the fourth. But this is the fifth one where they've fallen short. And, of course, they still remain on top at the helm of things. But, of course, the difference is really small and minimal.